Toss the bucket.
So let's take a look at the Wisdom Corruption starter deck that you're going to be using to build up to the finished deck first, and then I'll show you the finished deck and how that plays out a little bit later in another video. So this is not the best of starts. Let's go ahead and draw again. We only have one shrine, and we don't really have any good early game play except maybe Mesmerizing Spirit. So let's see if we can't get a little bit better. Okay, this is much better in my opinion. No Wisdom Shrines yet, but we can draw into those. We have our Infernal Vultures, which is a good early game card to draw out, and we do have both of our Foundry Engineers and our Library Guard, so this should be pretty good. Okay, interesting. He's playing Corruption Order, so I don't know if this is going to pose problems for us or not. We're not going to be able to get around this very easily. We'll have to be creative, if you will. We need 2 Corruption levels and 1 Wisdom level at some point in time. However, we have 1 Corruption level already, which is why I'm choosing the Corruption Shrine instead of the Wisdom, because I'm going to need this. Okay, well, we have 2 now. I'm going to need this to get my first Wisdom level. So let's go ahead and mill 4 cards out of his deck. Let's see what we took from him. We took an Infected Survivor. He's running Vultures as well. A Guard Duty and a Consumed Spirit. So it looks like with Guard Duty, he's running a soldier-centric deck. Once you learn some of the archetypes that are going on, Order, of course, has a lot of soldiers and has a lot of angels. Corruption has a lot of removal and a lot of zombies. However, zombies and undead. Zombies are considered soldiers, so it looks like he's probably running a black-gold Corruption Order soldier deck, if you will. We lost our Vultures to Noxious Fumes, which is pretty good value. I mean, really, the Vultures are here to mill some cards away from them. If we can pump it up, that's great. Let's go ahead and do our Wisdom level, along with a Foundry Engineer. Next turn, we're going to get a Golem. Now, the Golem will allow... Oh, no, it won't, actually, because it's a 2-speed. So this is still posing a problem. We can Flash Freeze it, so we only have to do 1 damage to remove it. The problem is, it's a 3-speed, and it's hard to target. Our Library Guard can do it, along with a Flash Freeze that requires 4 mana. So again, we're going to have to be really creative about how we remove this. It doesn't do any damage to us, so that's good, but... Oh. And he takes away... He takes away our Haunted Cemetery, so that's something to consider. Oh, and... Let's see, what are we going to play here? We could play another Foundry Engineer. Let's go ahead and cycle cards. I think what we're going to do is Ooh, okay, so we have a Mesmerizing Spirit. Does that change anything? I think I want to... I'm going to do a Mesmerizing Spirit and a Flash Freeze. Mesmerizing Spirit's going to take away one of those 5 cards to reduce the amount of potential answers he has to removing these things. I'd like to play the Library Guard, but it's just not the right time because I want to get rid of this Infernal Vulture just in case. And then we can summon a Golem. There we go. So we've got a lot of good cards in our hand, actually. We've got Vultures for some more milling from his deck. We got a Flash Freeze. So we will have potentially 4 mana, hopefully if we draw into a Shrine, which means Flash Freeze and Library Guard. We don't need to play that on the same turn because Library Guard doesn't have haste or doesn't have Swift. So we can't use it to kill the Relic Guard right off. And he plays a Mesmerizing Spirits. Okay, so... Interesting. These are all pretty decent cards. I think I'm going to get better value out of losing the Vultures. I think I can do more with the Foundry Engineers. Milling your opponent's deck isn't as important as the opponent's hand, per se. At some point in time, it takes away their advantage or their answers, but what's in their hand is a little bit more important, a little bit more devastating to them. We're going to throw a Library Guard back because we got 2. And we're going to draw into, we don't need our 3rd Corruption yet, so let's keep using Wisdom. So we've already met our Wisdom requirement, which means we can use Wisdom Shrines for mana and card cycle from now on. Sleep is actually beneficial because it allows us to get around the Relic Guard. And, let's see. We'll play our Library Guard, we'll cycle some cards, and we're going to Flash Freeze the Mesmerizing Spirit. We can... I can push 2 damage in, actually. He can block one of them, but not the other one. Do I really want to do that? And risk losing something? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait. He was holding on to 1 mana, so I was a little concerned about what he was doing with that. It might have been nothing, but I guess we could have pushed 2 damage in, but it's not going to be that critical at this point. Consume Spirits. Okay. That's not good for us. We lost our Foundry Engineer. Luckily, we've got another one. So, in order to... Okay, what are we going to do here? Let's get rid of the Golem, because we can make our own Golems. Another Wisdom Shrine. Okay, Foundry Engineer, sleep. What to do, what to do. Let's go ahead and... Okay, we're going to throw a Foundry Engineer out there. We're going to do a Mesmerizing Spirits. He's only got 3 cards in his hand, now he's got 2. That makes the decision that much more difficult when you only have 3 cards. Now the question becomes, do we want to sleep this or not? It really doesn't matter at this point. I think we can use sleep better elsewhere. So, he'll be able to block one of these. The downside of playing Relic Guards in your deck, keep in mind, is that it doesn't do much except a wall. So it only blocks 1 creature, and it never really removes a creature. So we're just gonna leave it there for now until we have a really efficient way of dealing with it, and just assume that one of our creatures will be the damage will be negated. 2, 4, 6, 8 damage on the board. That's half of his life right now. That's an interesting idea. That's an interesting thought. He's running 2 corruption in 1 order. Okay, tactician, so he's definitely running a soldier deck. Let's go ahead and cycle. And charged Aurite is great, but we need to play it before the Foundry Engineer. Alright, fair enough. Let's draw a card. Probably should have drew the card first. It's not really going to help us much. It will help us in... Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this down, and we're going to pump this up. So basically, the Golem kills this. Now we're going to tie up the Relic Guard with the Library Guard, and then we're going to kill this. Let's not forget to spawn a Golem. Let's push 2 in, and in case he's got a Noxious Fumes, let's go ahead and put a Mesmerizing Spirit on the Tactician. Now keep in mind, order matters, so we've attacked with this first, and then we attack with this. And let's see if he had an answer with that 1 mana, or if we were just overly cautious. Okay, good. We tied up the Library Guard, we killed the Tactician, Mesmerizing Spirit. Excellent. And we got a pretty good board established here. Okay, he's going to pull a soldier out, probably the Tactician. Now it puts it on the bottom of his card. What he's using is his Hero Skill Champion's Honor. Now that's interesting because with a Might Emblem on Relic Guard, now it can actually kill things. It can't attack, but anything it blocks with 1 health, so if it blocks a Mesmerizing Spirit, for example, it will kill it. The Hands from Beyond is a curse that removes or reduces the speed of all my creatures by 1. To a minimum of 1. So right now they're all at 1, except for the Library Guard, which is at a 2. Which means that none of them can attack the Relic Guard. And then, of course, there's situations like that, where I guess I don't have to finish playing this out because that's what happens. Now, as you can see, I'm not going to show you another gameplay because this is just the basic deck. It's pretty effective, but let's go ahead and look at the finished version of this deck, which is even more effective. Ready.